Hello, this is Miss Igo. Welcome to my classroom. Today we're going to be talking about rational exponents. Before we get started, we need to define a few things. A rational exponent is an exponent that's a fraction. Another definition says that a to the 1 over nth power is equal to the nth root of a. So this tells us that any number raised to a power that's a fraction can be rewritten as a root. So let's do that. We're going to rewrite each rational exponent as a root. In number 1, we have 4 to the 1/2 power. So to rewrite this as a root, always think of the fraction as the bottom number will be my root. Remember that roots grow on the bottom of things. So my bottom number is my root. The top number is my power. When that top number is a 1, we really don't have to worry about it. So my root is a 2. That means it's a square root of 4. So our directions just told us to rewrite the rational exponent as a root. We're not solving or simplifying, we're just rewriting it as a root. Number 2 has 27 to the 1/3 power. So again, the bottom number is my root. So this is not a square root, this would be a cube root. So this is the cube root of 27. Our next example says to rewrite 8 to the 3/2 power as a root. Once again, the bottom number is the root, the top number is the power, or the exponent. Okay, so my root is a 2, that's a square root, so the square root of 8, and that's raised to the 3rd power. In number 4, we have 4 raised to the 3/2 power. The bottom number is my root, so again the square root of 4, and then my power is 3, so it's raised to the 3rd power. Now let's find the value of each. We have 64 to the 1/2 power, so first we'll rewrite it as a root. My bottom number is a 2, so that would be the square root of 64, and then it's raised to the 1 power, so we don't have to write anything because it's understood to be to the 1 power. So what is the square root of 64? 8. So that would be my solution. That's the value of 64 to the 1/2 power is 8. Negative 64 to the 1/2 power, as long as it's in parentheses, that means everything in parentheses is raised to this power. So the negative 64 is going to go under the radical, and that would be the square root of negative 64. And remember, anytime we have a negative under the radical, that comes out as an I. That's an imaginary number. So the square root of 64 is 8, and that negative comes out as an I, so the value would be 8i. All right, 64 to the 1/3 power. My root is a 3 this time, so that would be the cube root of 64. So what is the cube root of 64? That would be 4. That means 4 multiplied times itself 3 times. 4 times 4 times 4 would be 64. Number 8, we have 16 to the 3/2 power. Remember, the bottom number is my root. Roots grow on the bottom, so it's the square root of 16, and then that's raised to the 3rd power. To simplify this, you could actually do it in either order. You can either raise it to the power first and then take the root, or take the root first and then raise it to the power. It's usually simpler if you do the root first because that makes your number smaller instead of getting it really big and then having to take the square root or the cube root or whatever root. So the square root of 16 is 4, and then 4 to the third power is 64. All right, here's our last two examples. 27 to the 2/3 power. The bottom number is my root, so it's the cube root of 27, and then that's raised to the second power. So the cube root of 27 is 3, and then 3 squared is 9. And -8 in parentheses raised to the 4/3 power would be the cube root of -8 to the 4th power. When we take the cube root, an odd root of a negative number, that's not an imaginary number. So the cube root of -8 is -2, because -2 times -2 times -2 would give us -8. And then we raise that to the 4th power. Any negative number raised to an even power is going to give us a positive number. So -2 raised to the 4th power is going to give us a positive number. 2 to the 4th power is 16. And that's how we rewrite and simplify rational exponents. Thank you for watching.